Huh. To all those who are watching, my name is Mikkel, and something you don't know about me is that I want to produce my own animated show. I was formally introduced to animation around middle school through media, and it really helped build my passion for it. This is why I also want to become a middle school art teacher. I believe that at this stage in life, these kids have the potential to find themselves in their art and develop themselves truly. But what all does that matter if they don't have a secured future? This is what I'm here to talk about today. First, you gotta be thinking, what the heck is this guy talking about? The environment is what I'm talking about. Now, I know so many people have had their fill when it comes to hearing about the environment, but if you give me the time, I can give you something to truly take away from this. There are so many kinds of pollution that affect the earth, but I want to talk about plastic pollution. Fun fact, it can take plastic 20 to 500 years to decompose. And if you think that's bad, think about the effects that's had on the environment. The 5 trillion amounts of plastic on top of the ocean breaking down into microplastic. Seafood lovers, keep an eye out for this. And when chlorinated plastics are dumped on land, leading them to bleed their toxic chemicals into the ground. So now we're here. We know the environment isn't getting any better. We know that the kids' future could be, well, at risk. So what does this have to do with art? I believe that through incorporating environmental themes in animated media and having these be shown in schools, that from there we can promote more positive attitudes towards recycling. Just to get into it, how effective is animation at all? You see it everywhere, but to what avail? Very much. In 2023, 2 of the top 3 movies of the year were animated. And those movies were Beyond the Spider-Verse and the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Spider-Man had grossed over 380 million and in total had 20.2 billion views and trends on TikTok as it surged with its canon event trend. Super Mario Bros. Grossed 574 million with an average 336 million in TikTok trends. The success speaks for itself, but these films did so well without speaking on the environment. Are we sure films that do could also perform just as well? Animation is supposed to be about action, excitement, visual stimulation, and not about hugging trees, right? Well, the answer could shock you. There are various instances where we see the environment being promoted in works and seeing it bear fruit. One example comes from rapper turned actor Lil Dicky as he released a song in 2019 titled Earth, which of course promoted the earth. The music video had racked up over 423 million views, and because of that, $800,000 was able to be raised for various organizations, and many of them promoted the environment. A more topical example could be the anime movie Princess Mononoke, developed by Studio Ghibli, which touched on environmental themes in its movie, grossing over 170 million. For other information, Studio Ghibli is widely recognized in the younger audiences as a stable source of good animated film. These 2 are prime examples on opposite sides of the spectrum that show that animation can advocate for the environment and still find its way to become entertaining, whether it's childish or serious. Just to double back to the point that was made around Lil Dicky, it's been good to see artists use their status to promote the environment. Another artist, Billie Eilish, is well known for trying to be as sustainable as possible, having her merchandise include eco-friendly materials and recycled materials. And even beyond that, one of her music videos, My Future, depicts the environment, using it to portray emotions in a more positive manner. Finally, I want to talk about why this is important in the first place. Through a lot of research, I've found that there are a lot of people who choose not to take advantage of the privilege they have when it comes to recycling. To keep it simple, out of the 73% of households who have access to recycling, only 59% choose to actually use the recycling programs, which, if we get into specific numbers, is about 32 plus million people who have access to recycling to the amount of 18 plus million people who actually use their recycling. That's a lot of people that don't use their recycling. Another personal example I have is none other than the VCU campus. There exists a plethora of recycling all across the campus, yet Despite these resources, I have still found multiple trash cans filled to the brim with recyclables. I've even witnessed someone try to add an empty pizza box with water bottles to an already overflowed trash can. Even at the Commons, a location that houses many eating spots, the workers don't recycle the recyclables. And I should know. I used to work there, and I was one of potentially 3 people who would recycle anything. With these kinds of things going on, it can only be boiled down to the fact that these individuals just weren't educated on how to properly recycle and take care of the earth, which in turn contributes to more waste, and by relation, plastic pollution. Now imagine the influence this has on kids. If they don't see people caring, why would they? If no one tells them to, how will they know? We've seen the numbers, we've seen the power trends can have. If we can use animated media to get them more excited about recycling, the more can be influenced and cause a greater change. An artist's goal in life is to evoke emotion, but more importantly, change. No artist wants someone to view their work and leave the same. So as artists, why would we want to sit by and not try to enforce a greater change for these children? I'm Mike, and that's all I have to say.